guys, it's Olivia and welcome back to Live in Literature. The long-awaited return of Olivia on the internet. I know, you guys have all been missing it. You've all been missing me. You've been craving, wondering, when is Olivia going to return to YouTube and our book talk or booktube or whatever you want to call this? Yes, I am back. I am finally here.
The fun has arrived. Thank you very much.
Been like, what is it now? Like over a year since I've been posting videos on the internet. I know it has been a long time. I know many of you are wondering, where did you go? Why were you gone for so long? What were you doing?
Bella! Where the hell have you been, Loca?
Let's just say I needed to do some figuring some things out. I needed to finish school and I was working like 2-3 jobs at the time, and so
I'm busy, dreadfully busy.
Now that my schedule has calmed down quite a bit, I've had more time to read, more time to just like live my life a little bit. I'm working, I'm no longer in school, I'm figuring my stuff out. I feel like it's time for me to come back and do Live in Literature again. And I've missed it. I've missed you guys, and I've missed being your book person and the person that you turn to for your books. And so I've been really missing this. I thought that 2024 it is for us. It is our year. And so I felt like this was the best year to come back, to join the internet again and bring my favorite content, the best content, book content. And here for today's video, obviously you've already seen the title, is my top 5 best reads of 2023. Now I'd love to talk about the year 2023 in general. As a whole, this year, I can't even express how good this year was for writing. Not only in new members because of the content that's being produced, but also in the capability of the authors. I'm absolutely obsessed with the authors that have like sprung up this year. So many new authors to the game, so much new, I guess I wouldn't say it's a new genre, but I would say a new type of genre. My forecast trending for last year was dark academia. I would say a majority of what I read last year was like a magic system, dark academia, something in the like magical realm, like similar to like Hogwarts style Harry Potter, where it's like taking place at a school, but the magic systems are completely different and like it's not the same concept at all.
Hey, she's only interested in you because she thinks you're the chosen one.
But I am the chosen one. Okay, sorry.
But you catching my drift. It's dark academia, and I'm living for this new trend. I'm eating it up with a fork and knife. I cannot get enough of dark academia. I think it's one of the best trends that we've had. I'm also living for these new, like, folky, airy, very, like, whimsical, like, romantic fairy tales that are, like, kind of dark and gothic, but also have these gorgeous fantasy elements. I just think the world of fantasy in this year grew so much into, like, what is expected from fantasy and what fantasy can be. Because I think for a while we've been hitting peaks and valleys. I feel like ever since SJM came on the scene, and for those of you who've been watching and been longtime followers of me, you know that I've known about SJM for years now, before she blew up all over Book Talk. She's still my tried and true. She's still my queen, my darling. I love her.
No, I don't think you understand. I'm obsessed.
But I just think that like she was the rise, and then we've had some peaks and valleys where like people have been trying to just kind of do the same thing as her, and it's been fun and it's been cute, but like
I want something new. I want something fresh. I want something real.
And they finally got it. I feel like this year people just broke out of their shells and they delivered with new and fresh content. And that's what I'm here to talk to you about today. So I'm giving you my top 5 best books of the year. There will be a few disclaimers throughout this, and I will be not spoiling any of the content of the books because I don't want to spoil for anyone who has not read them yet. But if we want to go into a further discussion of these, please let me know, because I would be happy to talk about any of these books that I'm going to recommend more in-depthly, because seriously, they were knockouts. But without further ado, let me present the top 5 best books of 2023. The first book and second book that I would like to recommend for my top 5 best books of 2023. Oh, and also as a disclaimer, all of these books are like my perfect like 5-star, 6-star reads. Like they are the untouchables. There's no particular order of which ones I like the most out of between the 5 of these. They're all like on an equal playing field. Okay, continuing. First off, we have One Dark Window by Rachel Gillig. I remember when this book came out, and I remember I huffed and I puffed and I started it, and I was literally like, oh, this is boring, like, I don't want it.
I'm stupid, you're smart. I was wrong, you were right.
And then October rolled around this year.
Freaking bats. I love Halloween.
I don't know, I wanted something like a little bit spooky, a little bit gothic. And I was like, well, I remember this one, and everyone on the internet was raving about it, and I was like, I have to give it another chance, just to see what all the hype's about. And I am so glad that I did, because, oh my gosh, Rachel Gillig is one of the most poignant, beautiful authors I have ever had the pleasure of reading. Her book, One Dark Window, and as a caveat, book 2 that came out this year, both of these came out this year, Two Twisted Crowns. Duology of the century. The magic system in this book is flawless.
I love magic.
I just think Rachel Gillig's writing is so, like, it's poetic. It's, like, it doesn't, like, she's not telling you everything that's going to happen. She's letting you figure it out while you're reading. It's dark. It's moody. It's romantic. It's, like...
It sounds great.
It's honestly, like, something that I really needed for this year, and I didn't realize it, how badly and desperately I was wishing for something, like, spooky and romantic, and then, like, this came out of the woodwork. Came out of freaking nowhere. And she freaking killed it.
Crushed it.
Normally, I give you my own little wrap-up summary of what the book is about, but because of how, like, well-written this back cover is, I'm just gonna read it to you. So, as it goes, Elspeth Spindle needs more than luck to stay safe in the eerie mist-locked kingdom of Lunder. She needs a monster. She calls him the Nightmare, an ancient mercurial spirit trapped in her head. He protects her, he keeps her secrets, but nothing comes for free, especially magic. When Elspeth meets a mysterious highwayman on the forest road, her life takes a drastic turn. Thrust into a world of shadows and deception, she joins a dangerous quest to cure Blunder of the dark magic infecting it. Except the highwayman just happens to be the king's own nephew, captain of the most dangerous men in Blunder, and guilty of high treason.
What a story, Mark.
So really, we have gothic, mysterious girl with a monster in her head, sexy highwayman / captain of the guard who is guilty of high treason. Very sexy, very hot.
That's hot.
And book 2 goes even more into it. They're both so well written. It was such a beautiful, and to give a little bit more to book 2. The ending of book 1, oh my gosh, the ending of book 1 is devastating. Leaves you on the biggest cliffhanger ever, and you're just left gaping, gasping, gagged, totally not expecting it.
Let's spill the tea. Oh, tea.
Book 2 starts, and you're just like in the throes, wondering if everyone's gonna be okay. Book 2 was so well written. It was timed so well. The characters that you saw in the first book get such great arcs in the second one. And not only that, she ties the whole thing perfectly with a bow. Just ties it all up, wraps it up with a bow. It ties together so beautifully. Seriously, these were both such great books of this year, and I think a great example of like the new age of fantasy that we're entering into, of something different that we don't always see every day, but something that literally will change the world. These are both incredible. Rachel Gillig, you're one of my new favorite authors. I will read anything that you're writing these days.
And that's on period. So yeah.
The next book, and one of the best books of the year, and one that is not being talked about nearly enough. Like, when I say this book is not being talked about nearly enough, I am, like, looking for it. I'm searching for it on the internet. I'm looking through Book Talk. I'm sifting through my TikTok, and nothing about this book. And I'm out here wondering, guys, what are we doing? This is one of the best books that I have read this year. Seriously incredible. I am dying for book 2. And it is What the River Knows by Isabel Ibanez. This book was so fun. I wouldn't even describe it as a full fantasy. I would honestly describe this more as like historical fiction with like a glimmer of a fantasy element. This book is so fun. It's like a historical period piece set in Egypt. It's hieroglyphics and like the mummy. It's sexy and fun, and
I want it that way.
Totally twists and turns that you're not expecting. The ending. Oh my gosh, I could talk forever about this ending.
I could go into heavy detail, and I will go into heavy detail.
No one understands. This ending ends on the biggest cliffhanger of all time. It's the craziest thing. I like get so giddy when I think about it because it's crazy. To give you a quick plot summary of the book is about a young woman named Inez Oliveira. Her parents study Egyptian hieroglyphics and just like Egyptian culture in general. They like work in the pyramids. Her parents go missing. They die. She gets a letter. She lives in Argentina and she's like, what the heck? What am I supposed to do? So she decides to go to Egypt where her uncle lives there and try to find out what happened to them. When she arrives, she gets picked up by her uncle's assistant named Wit, who is an Englishman and who is so sexy. Oh my gosh, she's so hot. Are you kidding me? He's so hot. And
so hot in her. So hot in.
I have proof. I have proof that he's hot because there's a photo inside my book. And isn't he sexy? Like, you can't tell me that that man's not sexy. And I really hope it's focusing on him because, oh my gosh, he's sexy.
And then you get this picture, and then I take her to my penthouse and I freak it.
His assistant comes to pick her up and she's immediately dismayed because he immediately tries to put her back on the boat, but she won't have it. And she wants to get more into what's going on in Egypt. And so essentially it just becomes this like power play between Wit and her, as well as this mystery unraveling of like what happened to her parents, what's going on with the Egyptian trade system of like trading artifacts and other things that they're finding in the pyramids, and all this other stuff that they go into. It is so fun. It's technically it's YA, but honestly it doesn't read YA, which is why I really enjoy it, because it doesn't read YA. It's very mature. The content is like intense and super like fast paced. It's just a really, really fun book. I cannot recommend it enough. Book 2 is going to be insane. I cannot wait for it to come out. Hopefully this year, but who knows. Isabel Ibanez, gotta give you your flowers. This is an incredible book. I will now be reading anything that you write.
That was totally wicked!
And of course, last but not least, my last 2 best books of the year are by none other than the queen herself, Rebecca Ross, for Divine Rivals and Ruthless Vows.
She is my queen.
Rebecca Ross, people are not giving her her flowers. I've known since she wrote A River Enchanted that she was special. I read that book and was immediately blown away by her prose, by the way that she writes these things, by the time and the care that she took to create her characters. Like, there's just so much love in every single page. And that was not made more apparent to me than when she wrote Divine Rivals. Divine Rivals is the, I would honestly say, the heart-stopping, almost 1950s feeling romance of that old romantic love that you just don't find or see anymore in books and movies or whatever. And if you feel it in here.
Put your head on my shoulder.
This book has an old soul where it feels like it belongs, like I said, in a 1940s romantic period piece. And these two people just have the softest, most beautiful, but gorgeously romantic enemies to lovers, connection. It's everything. To give you a quick plot summary of Divine Rivals, if you don't already know, it's about a young woman named Iris who works for a paper where she's a journalist and she writes for a paper. There's a war going on. This book is not set in our world. It's set in a fake world. So they have, it's not a war that's going on that's fake. It's not the actual 1940s, World War II, whatever. It just has those feelings. Anyways, continuing. So Iris is working at a paper. She has a rival that she works against, Rome and Kit, who they can't stand each other. They're both rivals at this paper, and they write these incredible columns. Anyways, one day Iris's brother is missing from the front, and she wants to go and find him, but she wants to be able to join this war. So she decides to go off and write for the war. Long story short, this is a very important piece of the book. Iris has a typewriter that she will write. Sometimes she'll write notes to, and she'll slide them under her dresser. And a mysterious person continues to write back, and she doesn't know who this person is, but she slowly starts to fall in love with them, and they start to fall in love with her.
That doesn't make any sense.
Anyways, it becomes the most romantic book ever. It is just gorgeous. The way that it's written, the way that it's typed, the love between the two characters, the love that Iris has for her writing. I just think it's it's a book for the book lovers, the people who want that soft romantic love, and it's high stakes because there's a war going on, and people are fighting and people are trying not to die. It's just gorgeous, and I just think it's so well written, and it goes so perfectly with Ruthless Vows. Divine Rivals ends on one of the most devastating cliffhangers of all time. You want to cry, you want to die. The last line of this book is absolutely criminal. It makes me want to puke. It's so good. I'm gonna puke! And then you start Ruthless Vows, and you're just eating it up with a fork and knife because you cannot read it fast enough. Ruthless Vows is so good. It was so well written. There were so many times that I was so frustrated because I just wanted things to work out so badly. For all my people who can't stand it, if there's not a happy ending, don't worry, there is, but there is also lots of tragedy. The book is beautiful. It's tragic. It's romantic. It's high stakes. It just all feels like so much. They just have that old-timey, like old magic romantic feeling that you just can't find anywhere else. And I just think she's a brilliant author. Everyone needs to read Divine Rivals and Ruthless Vows, my last two best books of 2023. Now, for all of the people that I know who are going to complain about the fact that I didn't bring up Fourth Wing or Iron Flame,
I'm so freaking pissed.
I know, okay? I know. Let's be real. Fourth Wing has changed the fantasy game. Fourth Wing has changed all of our lives. Some of us can't sleep without thinking of Xaden Ryerson, okay? Let's be freaking real. He is gorgeous. He is Shadow Daddy. We are obsessed. But here's the thing. I didn't want to put them in my top 5 because, let's be real, they're already a 5-star read. They're guaranteed. I love Fourth Wing. I'm obsessed with Fourth Wing. I'm obsessed with Xaden Ryerson. Are you kidding? Shadow Daddy?
Literally, I need actually to feel the touch of a man.
I'm obsessed. But my review, I wanted this 2023 best books of the year to be things that totally shifted my perspective and changed my life and made me think about things differently, and wanted it to be about these books with new authors who have came out of the woodwork and just blew us all away. And I do think Fourth Wing did that. I do think Fourth Wing and Iron Flame did that, but I just think that these ones just are that one tiny 6-star step above the 5 stars for Fourth Wing. So I digress. I know everyone's gonna be mad that I didn't bring up Fourth Wing. Don't you worry. I did think about it, but I just wanted this to be special. Well, that's all I have for you guys today. So thank you so much for joining me. Don't forget to subscribe and tell your friends to comment, and subscribe themselves. I might be starting a book talk. I might not. Please comment down below if that's something you'd like to see from me. Maybe shorter form content on book talk. I've been thinking about it. I haven't decided if I want to do it. Also, I hope that you enjoy this new version of content that you're going to be receiving for 2024. I'm going to try out some new things editing-wise and all the things, and trying to read bunches of books. I'm going to try to stay consistent with my posting. Don't hold me to it just yet. We'll see how the start of the year goes. But I really, really have missed you guys, and I really miss talking about my books to someone and putting it out into the ether for anyone who wants to hear about my opinions about books. Personally, I think I have the correct opinion and the right opinion.
I'm right. You're wrong. Shut up.
So, in conclusion, thank you so much for joining me today. I'm so happy that I'm back. I'm happy to be here. Happy 2024 to you all. I wish you a good year of reading, and I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.